Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Randy and Ben giving you a little bit of Plexi and Tweed Deluxe and Aux and QSC and Les Paul love. Glad you're feeling good enough to be messing with guitars, bro. So that's our Nicky with the formerly broken headstock repaired by Steve Hickerson, and Eric Johnson's Plexi, now our Plexi, and an Aux amp top box, and a QSC 112 powered PA cabinet, but it did not include the 412 speakers at all. That was all just from that guy right there.
And so now
we'll turn on the 412 with it, and he'll do exactly the same thing.
Yep.
A little faster. When Billy Squire plays a bad chord, is that why he's lonely at night? Yeah. All right. So we don't know how well this is going to transmit on the iPhone.
You're right.
But here in the concrete block room, there's a very, very subtle difference kicking in the 412, a little bit of extra bottom, but is it worth carrying an extra 200 pounds worth of gear and another car? No, it's not. There's not much chance that, short of a really big paying gig or something with a very, very pretty girl, that Ben's ever going to drag that big cabinet around. Right, Ben?
Right.
Give it some clean tone, and then we'll switch over to a Tweed Deluxe. Is that as far as it'll clean up?
No, it'll clean up a little more.
Okay, so that's a Plexi. Plexis are not famous for their clean tone, for their jazz tone, for their country tone. They're famous for
rock and roll tone.
Rock and roll tone. Right. And it's great at that. But so is something else called a Tweed Deluxe, which we'll show you next.
All right. This is the same speaker setup with the 412 cabinet and the QSC with the aux controlling everything. Same speaker modeling setting. Just through the Tweed Deluxe that's behind me.
Stand up and step sideways. There's a 61 Tweed Deluxe back there that we're sending to the aux.
Right.
But the return from the aux is coming back through the 412. Right. So you can hear exactly the same kind of setup. And then we'll listen through the 112 factory, or not factory, but the 112 combo speaker.
And the only mod that we've done to the Deluxe is we put a 12AX instead of a 12AY in the preamp, just to
and
a little bit more kick.
And a G12H in place of the Jensen, which we'll get
but
to.
You're not going to hear that
Right.
Here we go.
Okay, so that was great. It actually has better note separation than the Plexi does.
Up top, yeah.
It's dialed up the volumes at about 2 o'clock, you said.
2 o'clock.
And we were listening to the QSC and the 412. Now turn the 412 off and let's just listen to the QSC. Watch your cord behind you.
Yeah. Here's the same thing.
So the punchline is the Tweed Deluxe makes a fantastic rock and roll amp when you can turn it way loud.
Right.
But what does it sound like without a 412 cabinet? We'll do that next.
All right. I haven't changed the amp settings at all, but this is this amp going through the aux to the QSC and back to the Deluxe. And we have, this is very important, a Celestion G12H instead of a Jensen. And it makes a huge, huge difference.
It's better at everything.
At everything. It makes it go into Plexi land.
It's a little bit darker, but you fix that with the tone knob, and it's just fantastic. Let's hear it. Okay, so turn it down for a sec. So that's fantastic at a Fender doing what a Marshall's supposed to do.
Right.
But what about a Fender doing what a Fender's supposed to do? So clean or medium blues, without touching anything but the guitar. Too dark. Is your tone knob turned down? Yeah.
No.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't. It's just dark because of the volume.
Okay, so if you clean it up a lot, what does it sound like?
On the neck pickup?
Yeah. So Dave, I really don't know how much of this is going to work on the iPhone, but sitting here in the room, if you remember when we were talking on the phone today and I said if you had to have one, I would say Tweed Deluxe. Ben said it before we even picked up the guitars. Right. The question is, can you get a great Tweed Deluxe without actually buying a vintage Tweed Deluxe? That's harder, but we happen to have one here just for representation purposes. It's not even the best one that you could get, but it's like a $700 Tweed Deluxe clone, and we'll do it next.
All right, here is everything set the same on this amp. This is a $700 Painter 5E3 Deluxe Circuit reissue. We have a Celestion Creamback Neodymium speaker that's ultralight. It's a little different than the G12, but it's also a lot lighter. And, well, everything else is the same. Here's how it sounds.
Clean it up just for giggles. Okay, so this is just scratching the surface of what you do with the aux. There are all sorts of speaker cabinet models, microphone models, room models, reverb delay, EQ, all of that. And we haven't changed any of those settings. We haven't tried to match the modeling to a Tweed Deluxe, which is in there. We haven't done any of that. But the point is, if your itch is for a Plexi and you just have to have a Plexi, yeah, you probably need a Bogner Helios or a Metropolis Metroplex. But if you don't want to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on an amp, then also buy a cabinet and then not be able to turn it up loud enough to get the tone in the first place without also buying the aux, you might as well just buy the aux and think about a Tweed Deluxe, because you get, we think, a far more diverse amp and still fantastic tones.
Yep.
And if you spend your money the Les Paul is the place to spend the money because you can get a decent sounding clone, right? And in our searching, the historic Nicky and Donna models and the Wildwood spec Les Pauls would be, those are the gem. And without the great sounding guitar going in, what you get out of it is going to be reduced. So anyway, hope this helps. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Yep.
Bye.